Hey, it's Dave Lindahl from Creative Success Alliance. And you know, one thing I learned a long time ago is that there's a certain formula for success. And I learned this from a mentor of mine several businesses ago before I actually get into real estate investing. And if you know my story, you know I started out as a struggling landscaper. That was my first business. And then I started rehabbing properties for local banks that were in foreclosure. That was my second business. Then I started investing in those properties. That was my third business. Then I started a real estate brokerage company. That was my fourth business. And then I started investing throughout the United States in emerging markets. That was my fifth business. And then I started educating other people on how to do the same thing that I was able to do. And that was my latest business. And I continue to buy and sell on a regular basis, as you know. But when I started that landscaping company many years ago, one of my mentors told me that there's a simple formula that will determine your success or how successful you're going to be. And it's this, and I want you to write it down. It's R equals C times F. R being revenues. Your revenues, the amount of money that you're going to be able to make in your life or in your business, is going to be dependent upon how competent you are at certain key tasks and how frequently you do certain key skills. So revenues equals competencies times frequencies. And in the real estate business, today I'm going to go over what your key competencies need to be. So your key competencies in the real estate business are marketing, negotiation, deal analysis, raising money, and time management. You may master all five of those things and be very, very successful, or you'll be like a lot of other people, and especially me, is you'll be strong at some of those and you'll be weak at the others. Those items that you're strong at, you want to focus on because those are your strengths. Your weaknesses, you want to delegate out to other people. So for instance, marketing. Marketing's on that list because you can have all the skills, you can have all the knowledge, but if your phone is not ringing, then you're not making any money. So you need to be marketing on a regular basis. And on one of the upcoming videos, I'm going to share with you some key marketing techniques that you can use to go out and get a stream of motivated sellers coming in on a regular basis. The next is negotiation. You're going to have sellers calling you on a regular basis. You're going to be meeting with them over the telephone. You may be going over to their properties or their houses, and you're going to negotiate with them. How skillful you are at negotiation is going to determine how well-fed your kids are. There's a famous line by Zig Ziglar that says, timid salesmen have skinny kids. Well, you don't have to be a salesman to be in the real estate business, but you do need to have some key negotiation skills. And we'll go over a couple of those skills in an upcoming video as well. The next is raising money. Hey, you know, when I first started, I had less than $800 in the bank. And I was literally broke. And I know a lot of people start with the same amount that I had, or maybe even less, or maybe a whole bunch more. Regardless, your ability to raise money for your business will determine how many deals you can do. And I discovered a wealth formula a long time ago. And that is, the more deals that you can do with the least amount of money, the wealthier you're going to become. You always want to remember that. The more deals that you can do with the least amount of money, the wealthier you're going to become. So there are certain techniques that you're going to be wanting to use on a regular basis to not ask people for money, because we never ask people for money. My students always offer opportunities for investors to actually earn more money than they would on other investments. And when you go through the mindset that you're not asking, you're actually offering, you're going to get a lot more private money into your life. And I'll discuss that in an upcoming video as well. The next is time management. Actually, deal analysis. Before we get to time management, deal analysis. Deal analysis, you just need to know that the deal that you think is a deal really is a deal. And that's through analyzing the deals. Doing the initial numbers at first, doing some what they call due diligence second, and then getting a secondary set of numbers, and then analyzing those numbers to make sure that you are in the right deal. And not only that, after the numbers are done, that's the financial due diligence, then you do the physical due diligence, and then the legal due diligence is done by an attorney of yours. And then the last part of this whole equation is time management, because we all have the same amount of time in a day. And what we decide to do with that time is going to determine how wealthy we're going to become. You know, I grew up working in my grandmother's fish market. I started working there when I was 7 years old, and I used to weigh up the scallops on Thursday nights for the Friday fry. My grandmother scallops used to come in small, medium, and large. And as you can tell, I'm from New England because we pronounce the word scallop, and not scallop. So the scallops used to come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. And so my grandmother would have me weigh up so many small ones, so many medium ones, and so many large ones, so that when the busy Friday fry was coming about, they would just take the wrapped up scallops and just throw them into the batter and then put them into the fryer. So I did that on Thursday nights, and she used to pay me $1. My mother made sure that I saved at least half of that $1, the 50 cents, and with the other 50 cents I could do whatever I wanted. And I used to run like heck up to the local bakery and buy all the baked goods I could for 50 cents, which was a lot back then. So I discovered that through that process of working hard, my grandmother worked very hard. My mother worked very hard. All my aunts that worked in that business worked very hard. I come from a family that 15 cousins. I was one of 15 cousins that all lived within a mile of each other, and we all did our time at the fish market. And one of the things I discovered is that working hard certainly did pay off, but working smart paid off a lot more. See, my grandmother, because she was constantly working within that fish market, only had one particular fish market. It did amount to her survival, but if she had worked on the business instead of in the business and thought of different ways to franchise out that fish market, because she had a great reputation all throughout the area, and the people used to line up on Friday on a line going down the sidewalk. But she always worked hard inside the business. I discovered that if you could work smart and buy real estate and get cash flow from that real estate, that you would have money coming in on a regular basis to the point where you could sit back and do nothing and that money would still come in. So time management is all about working smart, doing the right things that are going to make you wealthy quicker. And like I said at the very beginning of this, everybody has the same amount of time in the day, 24 hours. What you do during that time frame is going to set you apart from everybody else. So that's our first lesson here. When we come back on the next video, let's go into a little bit of marketing and how you're going to get some of those deals coming in on a regular basis. See you there.